Hello, America. Welcome to Common Sense. I'm Wendy Bell. I'm smiling so much. Why? You guys feel it? You felt like Wednesday morning, about 2 in the morning, that collective breath that we were all able to take after Donald Trump's historic victory. GOP taking the White House, flipping the blue states red, regaining control of the Senate, adding more House seats, trouncing Kamala Harris by 5 million in the popular vote. It was a rout. Millions of the forgotten men and women showing up on election night to fire Kamala Harris. You know, the media lost their minds, though. They started pointing fingers. The problem, they determined, America's men are sexist.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men, things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them.
We're all now dumber. So men who didn't find Kamala Harris even remotely presidential are now misogynists for not voting for her, right? Can't wait to hear how women are at fault.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not.
What? Because white women, what, don't want a black female president? You know, when are Democrats going to learn that the reason voters don't vote for Democrats is usually because they suck? And America is officially done with the suck. So let's bring in our panel of talk radio hosts from across America. Ari Hoffman hosts The Ari Hoffman Show on 570 AM, KVI out of Seattle. He also writes for the Post Millennial. Good to have you back, Ari. Jennifer Kelly hosts All American Radio on AM 970 The Answer in New York City and New Jersey. She's also the former spokeswoman for California's Republican Party. And Chris Arps. Hey, Chris. He co-hosts the Tim Jones and Chris Arps Show on News Talk St. Louis 1019 and 94.1 FM. Love having all of you guys. All right, Ari, you first. Record numbers of Amish and Jewish and Muslim voters voted for President Trump. They want to be left alone. They want to feel safe. They want peace. Explain how the media was caught off guard by these groups changing allegiances and their newfound, I guess, kind of devotion to Donald Trump, Ari.
Because they're in their own little echo chamber. You saw Jimmy Kimmel crying on national television this week about the election victory of Donald Trump. Look, it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, it doesn't matter if you're Amish, it doesn't matter if you're a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman. Your gas prices are just as high as mine. Your grocery prices are just as high as mine. The public safety issues are still a massive problem. The border issues are still a problem. What's happening on the international stage, getting us into more wars. And guess what? That was Joe Biden's policy, which Kamala Harris said she was part of every single decision. It doesn't matter that Kamala Harris is a woman. It doesn't matter that she's a black woman. It matters that she's a communist. It matters that she's a socialist. It matters that she has this radical left-wing agenda that the majority of America, which is a center-right country, does not agree with.
Other than that, we got nothing. I'm kidding. Jen, Jen, it feels like we witnessed a complete political realignment in this country. You got farmers and machinists, you got truckers and welders, blue-collar workers, breaking hard for Trump, as rich college-educated elites have kind of become the Democrats' bread and butter. Like, Jennifer, when did that start to happen?
Well, it is a great realignment, and it's like America went to the chiropractor Tuesday night. You know, when someone lifts you up and cracks your back, that's what happened, and America is realigned. And it's a good thing because we were slouching towards socialism and communism and all of the bad things that have killed 100 million people worldwide in the world history, including women and children. But this proves, the reaction from the media, it really proves that they really do think that half of the country, actually more than half of the country now, is garbage. No matter if you're a white suburban woman or a black male, they think you're garbage. And that says a lot. And that's why I'm so glad we kicked them back to the last century so that the radical left policies will have to be wiped away and they'll have to rebuild their party. And they'll rebuild their party if they're smart. But I don't think they're that smart, Wendy. I think they're going to cling on to those tampons in the elementary school bathrooms for boys. And they're going to have a really hard time, even in 4 years, when they face a potential J.D. Vance or Elon Musk or Byron Donalds, because I think the Democrats, they are clinging to their radical woke left policies that lost them the night because they're not yet ready to face the truth.
Yeah, I'm not so sure there's a lot of that mirror looking into thing going on. You know, Chris, I'm always amazed by the incredible media disconnect, to Jen's point. Over at CNN, they put up a graphic to show in how many areas Kamala Harris overperformed Joe Biden in 2020. It did not go well.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
That is what literally means, not one, not one. What's more surprising, that Jake Tapper seems surprised, Chris, or that Democrats really thought they could push Kamala over the finish line?
Well, we saw in the last 36 hours of the campaign, we saw that Iowa push poll that was basically trying to show that Kamala Harris had strong support among Midwestern women, and that may carry over to some of the battleground states and help her carry her over. We know that wasn't the case at all. The Democrats have a lot of introspection to do about their party. And a couple of things that they really need to focus on is, why are they losing support of Black and Hispanic men? They've lost in Pennsylvania. 25% of African-American men voted for Donald Trump. I read a story where the vice president of the Philadelphia NAACP said that he was voting for Donald Trump. We even had a Washington Post columnist that said that the Democratic Party was patronizing and was treating their most loyal constituents as children, and maybe there needs to be another realignment. I think we're seeing that, and you have to give full credit for that to Donald Trump. We've seen gains in minority votes when he came to office in 2016.
Right on. You know, and instead of blaming voters for not voting her in, Ari, I wonder if you agree with Scott Jennings over at CNN. Listen what he said.
I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis.
Yeah. You know, this movement of traditional Democrat voting blocs to the right. I mean, Ari, do you think it's revenge, or people just saying, I'm done, I've had enough? Mercy.
Absolutely. Look at the Jewish community, for example. So you had a massive Jewish turnout at the Madison Square Garden rally, and they're calling all of us Nazis. You had Byron Donalds on stage, and they're calling him a Nazi. He's a Black member of Congress. I mean, this is the insanity they were doing. They call all of us names, and then they wonder why we don't want to vote for them. They wonder why the average person doesn't want to vote for them. The average person, like I said, is worried about sending their kids to school and not having their kids get brainwashed. They're hoping their kids actually get grades to do well in school, and these public schools are failing across the country. The average person wants to be left alone, and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Tim Walz and all the rest of them, they want to be involved in everybody's lives, and that was their undoing.
100%. And Jennifer, you get the last 30 seconds, all right? Yes or no? The Republican Party is now the party of the people.
Absolutely. In fact, I suggested this rebranding a couple of years ago, and it's true. Look at every demographic that came in strong, and it was really led by one thing, and the left hates this. Donald Trump went all in on the male voter strategy. He picked a strong male VP running mate. He went for the white middle-class working man in the heartland of America, and guess what? When you have strong men, you have strong times, and you have others follow the lead. And I believe that's what the white suburban women did here. That's what the Black male voter did. And so many other coalitions, they came in strong because of that strong male leadership.
Amen.
Well, yeah, I don't think it helped. I don't think it helped that the Democrats floated the toxic masculinity BS either. Okay, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, no matter the final vote, biggest loser on election night was not Kamala Harris. It was your legacy media, with only 31% of voters feeling a great deal of confidence in the press. Did the media's coverage of Trump's campaign, all of this, put a fork once and for all in their credibility? We'll go there next on Common Sense.